What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know we only just got to March, but man, this year is already shaping up to be something real crazy, especially for us Falcom fans. Just last month, they managed to do something we all thought impossible. Not only did they finally show off the new Kyoto Xanadu project, not only does it look both amazing and unique compared to their other titles, but it was also revealed in a Nintendo Direct of all places. I genuinely never thought I'd ever see the day, man. After all the jokes about the game not even existing, seeing Kyoto Xanadu in motion for the first time took me, and everyone really, completely by surprise. But now that it's been a few weeks and Falcom's given us a bit more info since then, it's the perfect chance to finally make a video and explain why Kyoto Xanadu won't just be another banger for Falcom, but a third pillar into their future. So, enough with the intro, let's get straight to it. First off, let's start with a bit of context. If you play a lot of Falcom games, you probably know that they don't exactly have modern settings. When you look at stuff like Brandish, Gurman, the Zwei games, even the other Xanadu games, Falcom kinda understand that fantasy is basically what they're known for, so much so that the thought of making something take place in the modern day seemed really interesting to them, and that interest led to Kyoto Xanadu being released in 2015. This game fucking sucked. Okay, it wasn't actually straight up terrible. Honestly, I don't even think Falcom is capable of making a bad game outside of East 5. But even then, that game being bad is up for debate. Anyway, when Kyoto Xanadu came out, it wasn't received the best, at least not as positively as it is these days. It was obvious to see that the game was made pretty quickly and with a really low budget at that. The gameplay, while decent enough, kinda just felt like a worse version of East and Zwei 2, with the out of combat experience of Cold Steel 1 added on. The game was just all over the place in a lot of aspects, which led to the feeling that Kyoto Xanadu lacked any real identity of its own. I mean, when I first played it, I thought it was pretty good, but looking back now, I can kinda understand why people kept calling the game Cold Steel 2.5. Even the music sounds like they could have been in CS3. Now, Kyoto Xanadu may not be the greatest game Falcom have ever dropped, but at the very least, they accomplished their goal of making a game with a modern day setting. It had some really interesting ideas, and while not everything landed perfectly, it still felt like a Falcom game through and through. And going by the ending, it wasn't too far-fetched to think that another game would happen one day. Maybe we give it a few years and to literally everyone's surprise, in March of 2024, on the month of the company's anniversary no less, Falcom dropped a short teaser for a brand new Kyoto Xanadu project, letting everyone know that they do indeed remember what Rem said. The video itself didn't have much, I mean, it was just a teaser after all, but goddamn did it do its job really well. I've rewatched it more than a few times over the years. We got to hear some new music from who I assume was Koguchi, glimpses at some characters, and the main art of John Xanadu himself. I have seen this image so many fucking times, man. For nearly 2 years, this was one of the only images we had of this game. No screenshots, no additional teasers or artwork, just him. But even so, for a while speculation was going crazy. Would it be a direct sequel? Would anyone from the first game come back? Maybe it would actually take place in Kyoto this time. But eventually, all the speculation just turned into, does the game still exist? Falcom dropped that teaser and basically went radio silent. Event after event, people thought maybe the game would show up again. We went through directs, state of plays, multiple shitty Summer Games Fest. Even Falcom's own financial reports and shareholder meetings went by with very little mention of the game. At most, we get a, we're still working on it, don't worry. Granted, Falcom were still dropping banger after banger, so it's not like we were just starving ever since that first teaser. But the long drought of information really left people curious. Just what could Falcom be cooking? Well, we'd eventually get our answer, in a way nobody expected. On February 5th, 2026, during a surprisingly decent Nintendo Direct, it finally happened. Falcom's new project for Kyoto Xanadu was finally unveiled to the world as Kyoto Xanadu. Seeing this game in motion for the first time is a feeling I'm never gonna forget. We've come a long way from the Sky remake getting revealed in a highlight reel. Kyoto Xanadu got a full trailer in the English Direct. Granted, it was just a partner showcase, but it's still a huge deal. I wouldn't be surprised if Falcom games started showing up at more gaming showcases, or even just more Nintendo ones. We're gonna see Aro Christian in a Nintendo Direct one of these days, man. I just know it. Anyway, after going so long with no information on Kyoto Xanadu, I couldn't even imagine what the game was gonna be like. But the last thing I, or anyone else for that matter, could have expected was for the game to be a hybrid of 2D and 3D action. Although personally, I've been wanting a Castlevania style e-spinoff for a really long time now, but that's besides the point. Not only did this game come out the gate looking amazing, it also looked completely unique compared to Ys, Trails, and even the previous game, which is exactly what was needed. Again, a main criticism of Kyoto Xanadu was that it felt like a mashup of stuff Falcom has done way better in other games. But now, with Kyoto Xanadu's huge switch up in gameplay, it has a chance to stand on its own, not in the shadow of Falcom's other series, but alongside them in the spotlight. Even now, I just can't get over how good the game looks. The gameplay alone has me dying to get my hands on it. I'm a pretty big Castlevania fan, so Falcom making something similar with their own flair added on just sounds like a recipe for an amazing game. Not to mention, the original Xanadu game was also a side-scroller that had boss fights happen on a different screen. So not only is Falcom making efforts to offer a more unique experience compared to their current series, they're also calling back to their older titles as well. Maybe way further down the line, the same mindset could be used to bring back other old Falcom games, or use them as inspiration for brand new titles. They've said that they want to put out more games outside of Trails and East like they used to. Maybe one day we'll finally get a proper third Y game, or a successor to Gurman, or even another game like Xanadu next. Kyoto Xanadu has the chance to pave a new path forward for the future of Falcom. We can really only wait until we see more of the game and eventually play it for ourselves. But man, just looking at it makes me wish I could play it already. I'm really curious on how the 3D boss fights are going to be. At the very least, it already looks a bit different compared to what Ys has been doing recently. It's really going to come down to how it feels to fight though. But even then, I still can't decide if I'm more excited for the 2D exploration or the 3D fights. From the website, it seems like you'll have a decent amount of abilities to work with while exploring, seemingly granted by these cards, like this one which lets you change the labyrinth's terrain by freezing water. There's probably way more than what's being shown, so I can only guess what else they let you do. And outside of dungeon crawling, real-world activities and exploration will also be in 2D. It kinda reminds me of 100 Line, if I'm being honest. On top of that, the cutscenes look a bit different from usual Falcom games. While some of the screenshots look like what you would expect, there are some where things seem more akin to a visual novel than anything else. As far as I know, a Falcom game hasn't really done this before, so that's pretty interesting. And before I forget, I have to talk about the artwork in this game. It's amazing. We already knew that the artist was going to be Murakami based on the teaser back in 2024, but finally getting to see the characters properly after so long felt so special. I may have a favorite character already, but that's to be expected coming from me. And the key visual we got is just gorgeous, man. You put autumn leaves in any artwork and I'm there instantly. But yeah, that about wraps up everything I wanted to talk about. I really can't wait until we see more of Kyoto Xanadu. It's shaping up to be yet another banger for Falcom. Thankfully, I've got more than enough games to keep me occupied until this summer. But trust me, the moment that game drops, I will be there no matter what. Anyways, that's all for me. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe and leave a like while you're at it. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.